Bellhaven here. So today I'm going to do another Things and Stuff Explained video. And today I'm going to be covering greenhouses and gardening. For those of you who may need to grow cotton or mandrake or nightshade. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little run over of how a lot of this works. So in order to garden, what you need is some seeds and some water. Now be careful, water is super heavy, so it will slow you down quite a bit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is greenhouses and how they affect your growing. So I have a cotton bush here, and if you notice, if I place it in the greenhouse, it says growth rate 2.0. That means that it's growing twice as fast as it normally would. So if I bring it out here in the sunlight, you see the growth rate changes to 1.0. So 1.0, 2.0. Here we go, now you can see it. So you can see that it doubles the growth rate. Now, one thing to note though too is if you put a plant in a house, and that actually includes porches as well, this is considered, even though there's a bunch of natural light, this is actually considered in a house still, so just FYI on that one. But if you put it down in here, it drops the growth rate significantly. It goes from a growth rate of 1.0 down to 0.1. And if we go in here, you can see that's the case inside as well. Our growth rate is 0.1. So you always want to make sure your plants are outside. So if I came just outside the house and put it down, you can see it goes back to 1.0. So the greenhouses are your best bet. It doubles your growing speed, so it makes everything grow twice as fast. So that's the first part. The second part is actually planting something. So when you go to plant something, I have these medium-sized planter beds as well as some small-sized planter beds. What I do is, since they added the hotkey letter E as an action key, I just hit E over top of some empty soil. So as you can see here, there's nothing planted in this corner. I'm just going to go where I see that it highlights unused soil and hit E. And then once that happens, I'm going to hold down Control to drag, well, if it lets me, to drag one bucket of water up here. And then I'm going to hold Control again to drag one seed of my choosing. So I went ahead and put a mandrake seed, and it's really easy. Once you have the bucket of water and the seed, the plant button will highlight and you can go ahead and plant it. Now, once it is planted, you can hit E again and it asks, would you like to water this plant? And you will want to say yes. You may water it one time per growth stage. So if we go under miscellaneous info, you can see it says watered successfully. And that's down here. It says that in miscellaneous, it says watered successfully. Now if I tried to water it again, it will say that this plant looks watered already. So you can water it once after you plant it. And then we'll go ahead and plant another one real quick here. So you drag one of each seed up and you hit plant, and then we click on it again and say, yes, I would like to water this plant. And it says watered successfully. Now you'll notice some empty looking cotton bushes in here as well. This is another stage of cotton. So you can see if we hover over it, it says, here we go, growing plant cotton bush. Now since this bush is at a new stage of development, we can water it again. So we're going to go ahead and water these cotton bushes. Now what watering does, to my understanding, and bear with me guys, all of these videos are based on what I understand to be true, is watering will actually affect the amount of product you get out of the bush once it comes time to harvest. So the more you water it, the more you will get. So I know that when I plant a cotton bush and water it right after I plant it, and that's the only time I water it, I receive 5 cotton out of that bush. Now, if I water it like I am now at this stage as well, I have seen people get as much as 12 cotton from one plant, one planted cotton. So my understanding is that is affected by how often you water it. So let me show you what a cotton bush looks like starting out. So we'll go in this little corner plot here, hit E, control bucket, control cotton bush seed, plant. Alright, so when we first plant a cotton bush, it starts off as just this cute little sapling. And that actually just moved my thing. There we go. My OCD is real, don't judge. That's still not completely straight, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So, since I just planted this, I'm going to hit E again and go ahead and water it. And then, once it gets to this stage, I will water it again. And from my understanding, there's 3 stages of growth, but I don't know. I think I guess 3 would make sense. 2 that you can water it during, though. The first stage is the little sapling. The second stage is this kind of empty looking bush. And then the third stage, I believe, is with cotton actually on it. I don't know how all the plants work. I do know that apple trees, small apple trees, take longer to grow. And like I have eternal plants here. I have an eternal nightshade. And you can see me, I'm just harvesting these because these are done. So these are all my eternal plants. And the eternal plants, when you harvest them, they give you the seed plus the item for which you're harvesting. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then you can replant the eternal seeds again. So watering will affect everything in the sense that I mentioned also. So I mean, planting everything is kind of the same. You really just kind of have to watch, give or take. I don't have any charts or anything fancy like that for gardening. I just put it all in the greenhouses, water it when I remember, and hope for the best. And eventually you end up kind of mass producing at that point. So you can see I have a cute little elven greenhouse here and a cute little rusted greenhouse here. But you can actually, and I do want to note this really quick, and then I promise we're all done, you can make a large greenhouse. You cannot buy them from vendors now, but you can make them. But they are very expensive. They require 50 iron ingots. So let's see which one that's under. I think it's under smelting, maybe? Yeah? I'll find it, hang on. Oh, you can see I made my pretty fountain in the background there. So here it is right here. It's rusted iron greenhouse. It is 10 granite blocks, 50 iron ingots, your smelting tongs, and a stone chisel. So there it is. There's your recipe for the rusted iron greenhouse, the oh so elusive. So I hope all of this was really super helpful. As always, if you have any questions or concerns or something you didn't understand, just leave it in a comment below. And then as always, please like and subscribe, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me.